What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and we are back to talk about Sistas season 5 episode. We gonna talk about it, but can I tell you something? Maurice is still in jail. We still think Karen lying. Still a lot of unresolved things, but we did see bio. So let's get into it, shall we?
Can't ball in a life, man. Go on with it, go on with it. Do us. So we are coming with a force, yeah. Blessing the reap and we coursing on.
All right, y'all. So the episode starts off with Maurice still sitting down with the prosecutor. He's doing everything he can to get Maurice to dime Sabrina out. And Maurice is like, Sabrina wouldn't do that. Like, I'm not about to sit up here and listen to you. Like, she wouldn't do that to me. And so he's like, well, she signed the paper. She's out. I have a video right here that shows you that she signed the paper. And he's like, I don't even want to see it. I know Sabrina wouldn't do that. He's like, okay, well, you go ahead and suit yourself 30 years. That's what you're going to get. That's what I'm pushing for. So he's trying to do whatever he can to lie to Maurice to get him to sign this paper so that he can get Sabrina. Which my thing is, like, this whole thing with the prosecutor, I don't even get his position, like why he's so pressed and stressed over getting Sabrina to go to jail. Because my thing is, yes, you lost the case to Andy. You should be mad at your ex-wife, not Andy. Like, he's so mad at Andy because he lost that case against Andy. So now he wants to try to get her friend to, like, get back at Andy. Andy was doing her job. I really don't understand why this man has such a hard on for Andy at this point. But he's going to do whatever he can to try to keep Maurice in jail. So then he even talks about how he noticed that Maurice hasn't made any phone calls yet, which that's not true because there was a phone call from the correctional facility. But maybe that was Sabrina. Maybe that call, y'all remember earlier in the season, Calvin got a call on his phone from the jailhouse, okay? And Calvin was like, why would somebody be calling me from this number? And then Q turned his phone over and stopped the ringer so that he wouldn't see the call coming through anymore. So that could have been Sabrina calling him. But then again, why would Sabrina call Calvin and not her friends? I don't know. But Maurice, they're claiming Maurice ain't made no phone calls. So he ain't called nobody. Okay. So in the next scene, Fatima and Andy they're sitting down and they're talking about Zach. And she's still, she basically is telling her, I can't believe you didn't tell me that this man asked you to marry him. Like, what's going on? And so, Fatima was like, yeah, he did ask me to marry him, but I'm not trying to marry him. All this baby mama drama and stuff he got going on. I'm not trying to marry him until I figure out what's going on with Karen and this baby. And so Andy is like, well, okay. Like being real obvious because we know Andy can't lie. So she's basically giving it up that he the daddy. That's what the doctor said, according to, or that's what Karen is saying, because we don't know if that's really Zach's baby or not. Because if y'all remember in a previous episode, she made it seem like Aaron was the 12th and Zach was the 19th. The doctor said that on the 12th was when this baby is so-called conceived. Okay. So I don't know what's going on here, but this is all sounding crazy. Hold on, y'all. Give me a little second. I got to plug my computer up, child, because we about to go and die. So hold on.
Yeah. Work. To me, I be work. See me do me dirt. So me for that work. When you walk a line. In the cafe, drive me a dessert. Let the devil lurking. Yeah. You make a rock, now you don't like it. You know I dealt with you the nicest. Nobody touched me in the right. Nobody touched me in the crisis. I believe that all of your dreams are duration. You took my heart, all my keys, and my patience.
All right, y'all. So I had to go ahead and plug up my computer before this thing cut off. And I don't even know what I just drank right there. Okay. Moving on. What was that? I need something to wash that down because that did not taste good. And I don't know why I just did that to myself. Moving on. Let me see who's in the comments. I think my girl Michelle was in there. Yes, she is. Michelle says, "Hey, Shay Renee, what's going on? What's going on?" She says, "Let's get into it." Yes, we are about to get into it, sis. Okay. So Fatima and Andy are talking, and Andy shows. So Fatima decides to tell her about not really wanting to marry Zach because of all the situation that's going to go on with the baby mama drama. Then she tells her about the decoy that she has that's going to take Hayden for all that he got. Now, what I didn't talk about in my last video was that this could be a double help for Andy. This is really a good thing because if Fatima's decoy does take Hayden for all he has, then that will strip him of all of his funds to try to take, he wouldn't be able to put up, I guess, if he's considered one of the partners. I don't know if he's a partner or whatever this stuff is going on with Robin, because, child, I can't keep up with all this stuff that's going on in the dang show. It's like the story change every 5 daggone minutes and we don't complete nothing, but then we going on to something else. But moving on. So if the decoy bleeds him dry, then he won't be able to assist or be in the mix with all of this stuff that's going on with Robin and the partners and possibly losing the law firm. So this could be a help for 2 people instead of just Zach, okay? So Andy talks about, Andy says, well, yeah, why are you still messing with Hayden, whatever? She was like, because Hayden is always messing with me. So I'm going to keep on messing with him until he stopped messing with me, okay? And she's like, well, are you going to unalive him or whatever? And she's like, and then Andy's like, Fatima, come on now. So, they do that little mindless bickering back and forth where they're making up lines and because they ain't have none. Michelle says, Karen is a liar. She don't know who is that baby's father. Child, she don't know who that daggone baby's dad, her baby daddy is. I think, actually, let me tell you something, Michelle. I think that the baby is Aaron's. I think that she's going to ride it out and say that it's Zach's. She's going to keep saying that until she can't say it no more. And even if a DNA test comes along, I think Tyler Perry is just such a slick and sick individual. He don't want nobody to be happy. Like, if you look at all the storylines on this show, nobody happy. Zach and Fatima, we thought we was going to get some happiness with that. Nope, he had to go fuck that up. Danny and Preston, we thought we was going to get some happiness with them. Nope, Preston got another woman that he was going to propose to. Andy and Gary, nope, he was married and Andy's stupid. It's just a whole lot. It's a whole lot. But I think that Aaron, actually, I think that the doctor probably got some DNA. It might be a twist somewhere where that doctor that Aaron knows that's at the hospital, she probably told him that that's his baby. And that's why he's so adamant that he knows that that's his baby or that he wants it to be his baby. Who knows, child? But we're going to see as time goes along. Yes, it's Aaron's baby. Yeah, I hope it is Aaron's baby because I'm just so tired of Karen. I don't know what to do. Okay. So moving on, Andy won't tell basically Fatima that Karen found out who the baby daddy is, and that's that on that. But Fatima is looking at her like, girl, you know something daggone and you just playing around. But I'm gonna figure you out. It's gonna come out in the wash. Michelle says Tyler Perry's writing is horrible. Yes, I want him. He just bought some more land to expand on Tyler Perry Studios. I need him to use that land for some writers because, like, the stories are going to get messed up. You don't have any people that creators, right, writing this many stories at one time by themselves. It's a reason why, because you want to be organized. You want to be able to keep the storylines together. Like, he has literally like 6 or 7 shows going at one time. I think he has Ruthless, The Oval, Sistas, Bruz, he's even writing All the Queen's Men, which I highly am so against. Okay. Um, and then of course, you know, the stuff, the play shows that he has, the old couple, and then the senior living facility or whatever. So that's 7 shows right there that I just named. So you're writing for all of these shows, and that's why we have some of those. That's why we always have those breaks in the show where there it seems like they're like just talking back and forth, jibber jabber, because there's no lines. He's not making lines. He's like having them just ad lib throughout the show, and then that just makes it so unenjoyable. And it just bothers me that he takes the fans for granted. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he takes the fans for granted by saying, oh, they just love Tyler. We love Tyler Perry so much. We want to support Black media so much. And he does help the actors. It's like, I watch it so the actors can remain employed. Like, I watch it so that they can remain employed, but I want him to give us good material. He's like falling off so bad. Like, it's so bad. And it's going to get to the point where the loyalty is just going to go out the window, because it's like, you are blatantly being disrespectful with this content. Like, you know, y'all ain't going to go nowhere. You're going to keep on watching. So whatever, I'm going to just write whatever and keep it pushing. Tyler is cheap. He don't want to pay anyone top dollar. Right. It's crazy to me. Like, even you can find good writers that are starting out and you ain't got to pay them a whole bunch of money. But child, Lord, we'll see. I hope he gets something together. He said he's supposed to be bringing some writers on for Sistas. We'll see, because it's getting bad. So just like this character he got here, daggone Q. This was the worst character ever to be added onto anybody's screen. This is so unrealistic, the whole storyline surrounding Q. But we're going to talk about him. So Q walks into the airport. He trying to talk to Danny. He talking about walking her to her car. So he's like begging her to walk her to her car. I don't know what Q's end game is with Danny and why he's so pressed to be trying to talk to her. But he's like, I know you got a pen. Let me hit that pen or whatever. She was like, aren't you on probation? He was like, well, are you supposed to be smoking? And she was like, well, listen, basically, like, my job is established. You the one on probation. So should you, and you get the little ankle bracelet on, you sure you need to be smoking? He's like, come on, let me walk you to your car. You buy me a drink for, you know, for beating up old boy. She's like, yeah, okay, I don't buy people drinks. Okay. And he was like, come on, you know, I did do that for you. And she was like, I'm not totally convinced that you did anything. So he was like, all right, I'll buy you a drink. So they go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. She agrees to let him walk into her car and take a puff of her daggone vape pen. I'm like, girl, there is no way that I would let this man walk me anywhere, because he is clearly a walking liar. He is a liar. Liar face. Okay? He's lying. He's sitting up here blatantly lying to this lady. But again, I don't know what Q's end game is, or what his whole, why he's trying to get with Danny. Maybe she's just gonna be another woman that he's trying to use, or whatever. Or maybe he likes her and he's trying to get with. I don't know what it is, but I need for the sisters to hurry up, Sabrina to come up to the job one day or something and be like, girl, that's cute. Don't be messing with him and blah blah blah. Like, I need his cover to be blown expeditiously. Okay. Q is messed up. Yes. His whole character is just a no-no. There is no way that in any reasonable court of law that they would take that audio that Q did seriously. Like, and then Q was already in jail for it. He was already in jail for it. Then they let him out to get Sabrina and Maurice to have no priors. So you gonna believe a criminal, let him out of jail to get the innocent people. For why? In no shape, form, or fashion would that ever happen. Ever happen. You already got a black person in jail. Why am I gonna take him out to get 2 more? Yeah, no. Michelle says, don't forget Q is gay for pay. Right. Maurice knew better than when he was messing with Q. He should have left him alone in the beginning. He knew that he was bad news. Like, Q tried to pour his heart out to him, trying to make it seem like he's a good dude, like he's trying to turn over a new leaf and he really liked Maurice. He didn't. He's trifling and terrible. All right, y'all. So Maurice finally calls Calvin. Okay. He joked about being in there with all these men and how all the men want him and all this, that, and the third, and he fighting them off left and right. And Calvin was like, come on, man, stop with your jokes. Like, I know that you're having a hard time in there. And so Maurice was like, well, yeah. Well, I got a question for you. Did Sabrina dime me out? Basically, like, how did she get out of jail like so quick? What did she do? Like, did she snitch? Did she say that I did this? And so Calvin was like, no, she never would do that to you. Like, she didn't say that. And Andy was the one that got her out. She got out on bail. So, I feel like Maurice is kind of caught between a rock and a hard place because he wants to get out of jail. He wants to believe Sabrina to be the person that he knows her to be, but he doesn't know if desperate times could bring desperate measures for somebody to get out of jail. So he's questioning, like Calvin can sense that Maurice is questioning whether or not that's true, that Andy actually got bail for Sabrina, or did Sabrina sign some type of plea deal? So he's tussling with that in his mind, but he's like, yeah, well, somebody, y'all need to hurry up and get me out of here. Y'all need to figure this out because I didn't do anything. And he kind of alludes to possibly saying that maybe he may take a plea deal if they don't do something to get him up out of there. And Calvin was like, don't do that. Don't do anything stupid. We're going to figure it out. I'm going to have Sabrina talk to Andy for you. So hopefully Maurice don't fall for the okie doke and be sitting up there about to sign some daggone paperwork just to get out of jail and realize that he's screwed the pooch and Sabrina didn't tell on him. So in the next scene, Zach is waiting outside his house. He's sitting on the back of his car, just so giddy and excited, waiting for Fatima to get there. So Fatima pulls up. He gets her out of the car. He's like so excited to see her. He's like, I got a surprise for you. Come on in. So he, tells her to close her eyes, brings her in the house, and she comes in and she opens her eyes and it's just a dinner table with food on it and some wine. And he told me, I went to 3 gas stations to get that wine. I was like, okay, is this like a special restaurant food that you got? Like, what's so special about this dinner that you done made? I was listen, it's the thought that counts. It was really nice what he did. It really was. But Fatima was definitely as underwhelmed as I was when she opened her eyes and it was just a dinner. I was like, for all the stuff that he did, I thought he was going to have roses on the ground, like balloons, and it was her birthday or something. I don't know what the heck I was expecting, but dinner and some wine that you got from the gas station. Was it a bottle of Camus at least? Child. Okay. Moving on. So she's like, oh, well, thank you. Okay. And so he's like, Zach says he wants to marry her right now. He's like, let's just get married. Let's just go ahead and go to the justice of the peace. Let's do this thing, do it. And Fatima was like, pump your brakes. No, Daniel-son, we will not be getting married today. Okay. We are not doing any of that. You got too much baby mama drama. Did you think this little dinner was going to help me forget about all the stuff that you got going on? Yeah, you still going to have to pay out the ass. And what you're not about to do is have me paying your child support with you. I love you and all that too. But what we not about to do is that. Okay. And she says, besides, I want my family and my friends there. I want to get married in the church. He said, you want to get married in the church? Your family kill people. You sure you want to be going up in the daggone church? She said, listen, you ain't got to go to the church, you see, because the church is where the heart is, okay? The church is where you are. Hallelujah. You don't have to go in the building, all right? Because the building is inside of me. Fatima, you full of shit, okay? But I'm going to let you go ahead and live your life like it's golden, sis, okay? So she's like, listen, I want to talk to Karen. I need you to call Karen. I don't want to eat none of this dinner or none of your gas station wine, child. Okay. I need you to sit down and call Karen because we need to have a conversation about what's the goings on and what we're about to be doing. Because like my mind and my heart can't move forward really in comfort until I know what we got here. Okay. So Zach goes back and forth saying he was like, can I at least eat first? Because I'm gonna lose my appetite after I talk to her. And then she was like, well, I'll give you dessert afterwards if you call. And so they go back and forth with each other. And of course, Fatima gets her way. So he calls Karen and asks Karen to come over. He asks her very nicely. And she's like, well, I'm going to go see the girls tonight, but I guess I can stop by on my way there. So he was like, okay, well, come on through. We just want to talk or whatever. And Fatima. So she's like, okay. So then Karen calls Andy immediately, expeditiously. And she's like, girl, did you tell Fatima I'm pregnant? Now, Karen, I know you can lie because you, as soon as you lied and said that was Zach's baby from the doctor, you turned right this here to Andy and said, so yeah, go ahead and tell your friend that I'm pregnant and it's sex. I was like, why was that the first thing that she had to say when she found out? You pressed? Like, you don't want to tell Zach first, but you want to tell Fatima. So that right there let me know that she was lying. It's not true. You just want to do anything you can to piss Fatima off. And that's just crazy to me. But, whatever. Karen is being a real psycho, and I don't know if the baby was doing it, okay? Michelle says, no marriage. Zach has too much baggage. Yeah, I wouldn't be marrying his tail right now either because that's too much. Michelle says, Fatima knew what she was getting herself into. Right. Like, she knows, but I think that now she's like, you know what? I do love this dude. I'm kind of in there a little too deep right now. But what I'm not about to do is be going and jumping no brooms no time soon until we figure out what the heck is going on here. Because what I'm not about to do, I done just paid off these student loans too. Ain't no damn way that nobody gonna be snatching my checks, my good lawyer office checks, because of this nigga here. No, ma'am, Pam. I will get the D and be single as can be. All right, that's it. And that's it. So then Andy assures her that she did not tell Fatima. And so Karen says, well, I'm about to go over there and talk to him. So if you did say something, you might as well tell me right now. And Andy was like, no. She was like, wait a minute, you going over there? She was like, what time you going? She was like, I'm about to go right now. I'm going to go before I come over your house. Andy like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and come on over there with you because I don't need no drama between you and Fatima. I know Fatima and I know you. So I'm going to go ahead and head on out. I'm going to be right over there with you. Don't you go in there without me. So Karen was like, okay, I mean, you don't need to come, but whatever. Come on then. So they hang up the phone. Then Andy calls Fatima. And she says, Fatima, look at here. What you got cooked up on over there? Because I know what you do, and I know what you likes to do. Okay, so you, ma'am, I ain't trying to find my friend in the box no daggone way. You see, so what you got? What y'all doing over there? What you got cooked up and things? What's going on? So Fatima was like, nothing. We just want to talk to her. Like, we want to talk to Karen. And I'm like, why is today so important that y'all got to talk? I don't know what's going on here either, what they really about to talk about. Because my thing is, did they know that Karen went? Maybe they know that Karen went to the doctor and they're trying to figure out, okay, so you said you're going to the doctor. Who that is that my baby daddy? Who that's your baby daddy? Who that's your baby daddy? See, Zach, you just that baby daddy. Okay, I just want to know who it is. So that's probably what Fatima is thinking. She like, let's just get it going. Tell us what's going on. I don't want to wait any longer. Okay. So Andy is coming over. She don't trust Fatima. She damn sure don't be trusting Karen and what she gonna do. So she gonna go over there and make sure that everything is on the up and up. So Fatima tells Zach, well, Andy's coming over too. And Zach is upset. He was like, ugh, I don't even want to eat. She was like, well, you better eat that food because if you want to eat something else later, if you catch my drift. He's like, ugh, fine. So he goes over there and eats dinner. Okay. So moving on, Karen put Sabrina's hair. In the next scene, we see Karen has finished Sabrina's hair. It's back to normal, into her normal hairstyle. And Pam comes over and says, oh my gosh, your hair looks good. But why did your, and I love your natural hair. How did it get like that from the beginning? Like, what made you take your hair out? And so both of them kind of look at her like, long story, and we ain't telling you. Okay. So then Sabrina says, thank you so much. How much do I owe you? And Karen says, girl, you don't owe me nothing. Go ahead. I'll see you at Andy's house later. And Sabrina insists. She's like, no, let me pay you. Like, please. And Karen's like, no. And I said, I will see you at Andy's house later. So she hugs her and they go ahead and leave on out. Sabrina leaves. So Karen is there and Karen says, you know what? Pam, I already turned the curlers off. I don't need you to do jack shit. Just make sure you don't screw the pooch. And that was when Zach had called her actually to have her come over. And that was where it all started with the conversations with Fatima, Andy, and so on and so forth. Okay. So I kind of jumped the gun for y'all first. Okay. So moving on, Q and Danny are having drinks. Okay. And Danny getting a little tipsy. She's like, well, I got to go ahead and meet my friend. So I'm going to head on out. And so Q is like, no, you just going to leave me? Like, what? He was like, after all I did for you, you just going to leave me? She was like, first of all, I'm not convinced that you did anything. And second of all, I done had the little drinks with your little ragged ass. What the heck more do you want? So he was basically trying to go back to her house with her. And she was like, yeah, no, sir. I already did that, and I ain't doing it no more. Don't trust you. Don't trust you. And he was like, what happened with old dude? Like, oh, okay, I see what happened. That's what happened. That's why you don't want to bring me back to your house. She was like, listen, you, sir, can have a very good night without me. Okay, because you won't be hanging out with me. He was like, and she was like, you got an ankle bracelet and all this stuff. You out here being a criminal and carrying on and crap, and you trying to come up in my damn house? I know you lying. So he was like, that's what's wrong with black women. Y'all always thinking somebody's a criminal. Well, if it wears an ankle bracelet, it acts like a person that's wearing an ankle bracelet. It might be a criminal named Q. Okay, what are you talking about? And Sabrina and Danny was like, no, that's not the case. She was like, I know all about people being in the wrong place at the wrong time and all those types of things. She said, but you also are full of shish, and I can see right through that too. You trying to BS me, and I ain't for it. Okay. So she says, well, sir, you have a good evening. I'm gonna go ahead and head on out. Please, person behind me, scoot your chair up so I can get out of this seat and bid you adieu, Mr. Q. Okay, moving on. All right, so now we get to the scene with Hayden. Let's go back to the comments. I got to talk to my girl Michelle. No marriage. Zach has too much baggage, child. Fatima knew what she was. Okay, we talked about that. Karen wants to break up Zach and Fatima. Yeah, and I don't see why. Get over it at this point. Let it burn, sis. Let it burn. Like, I just want to wrap up this whole Karen and Zach situation. If you're going to have Zatima, let's just wrap this up. It's too much. I think that Tyler feels like he needs to have the baby as the connection to keep Zach and Fatima very, very much so entrenched in this storyline. But that's not what you don't need that. You definitely don't need that. Okay. They need to wait until the baby is born and have a DNA test. Right. Absolutely. The main event says Karen is so annoying. Yes. Like, I get it. You know, there are women out here that are fatal attractions, or, you know, you're upset over a situation that happened with your baby daddy or your ex-boyfriend and you just can't get enough. Okay. But at the end of the day, I don't like how every single woman on this cast is having a man problem, or they crazy and deranged, or you doing too much. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it. Like, Karen can't be this crazy for this long. It doesn't make any sense. Like, Karen actually was the level-headed friend in the beginning. Now she done turned into, I don't like how he's turned her into this crazy, obsessed person. It's like he trying to turn her into the chick from the haves and the have-nots that was just crazy all the time. and just doing random stuff that it's like, why would anybody be acting like this? That's her. It's just too much. I don't like it, and it's not realistic. Like, women don't really be acting like that. Um, well, not all the time anyway. Somebody gets come to their senses eventually. But y'all are speaking to each other. Awesome, 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 awesome. Thank you, everybody that is watching, everybody that's in the chat. I know this is a late review, but I want to get it out the night of so y'all can see. Okay. So in the next scene, Hayden is sitting down with the decoy child. So she is laying on the compliments real thick. Okay. She is acting like she want him real bad in my Carisha voice. Real bad. It's real bad. Okay. She's telling him, oh my God, I shouldn't be saying this. Oh my God, I've kept you here all this time. Nobody else is even here. Like, oh, we got to get out of here. Blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, I'm good. You know, it's all right. Everything's good. Like, he is soaking up the compliment. She's like, are you married? He's like, well, and she's like, oh my God, of course you're married. Oh my God, somebody like you is just such a catch. Oh my gosh, like you gotta be married. He's like, no, I'm actually not married. And she was like, oh, you're not? Wow, you're just such a nice man. Like, all these compliments. I'm like, girl. But Hayden's sitting there licking it on up. Okay. So then at one point they both stand up and she's like, oh my God, you're hard. Oh my God. Trying to make him think that his that was funny to me because she tried to make it seem like his dick was big or something. So he was like, oh no, this just me on regular. Yeah. And I was like, boy, if you don't put the teeny weeny meeny peeny away, get out of here. She is really laying it on thick. She's like, oh my gosh, so I just know it's big. It's like that. It's not even at attention, really. Oh my God, no, yeah, you're hard. Oh my God, you're so excited. So then they get to the point where she's still BSing him and BSing him some more and more and more. So she ends up asking him to come back to her house and have drinks with her, and he agrees. So then she leaves him. And okay, not yet. She ain't called for Tina yet. So yeah, they agree to go get drinks at her house. So he gonna come over there and she gonna send him her address. I'm like, well, don't he have your address? Y'all was just sitting there talking for hours and hours and hours. Okay, y'all was talking all that time about your case. I would think he would have got your whole government and things by that time. But child, whatever. Like I said, Tyler Perry's writing. I think Tyler likes negative energy. Yeah, absolutely. Because all of this stuff that's going on, this is not realistic. Like, why everybody life messed up? Like, goodness, I thought Zach would at least catch a break by now. Karen was the level-headed one. Why the change? I don't know, but I don't like it. Yeah, she was. Like, she was the one in the beginning trying to steer Andy in the right direction with her dumb behind. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, I hate this turn for Karen. I really, really do. I hate the way that they're making her an angry Black woman. And it's just trash. I don't like it. So in the next scene, Danny comes home and Preston is there waiting for her. She was like, well, you know my door unlocked? Like, this ain't motherfucking Mayberry, my nigga. Like, this ain't Mayberry. Why you got my door open? Okay, she didn't say that, but that's what I would have said. So he was like, oh, sorry, my bad. So he's like, you know, I just want to talk to you. Let's sit down and talk. And Danny is like, I'm gonna go ahead and take a shower. I'm gonna go meet my girls. What's up? She's like, what was you in here doing all day? He was like, I was in here waiting to talk to you. She was like, oh, you sure you wasn't thinking about old girl that you was gonna ask to marry you? All right, Danny, Petty Freddy. Girl, you sent them away. Why are you so worried about whether he was gonna marry old Emily? Girl, bye. And I don't even know if that's her name. I just imagine that's what it was. Girl, let that go. This man is in your apartment waiting on you. So do what you gotta do with him. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about what he's doing with nobody else. Okay? He's here with you. You the one said you don't want a relationship either. So why are you worried about what he's doing with this other chick? But anyway, moving on. He begins to talk about, ask her, did she hit someone with her car? So Danny was like, oh, how do you know that? And he was like, well, the neighbor told me that she saw you hit somebody with your car and she heard that somebody hit you or whatever, like somebody was in there hitting her. So Danny kind of tried to steer away from the question, but she lets him know that it's true because she says, oh, she must have been listening. So he's like, wait, somebody was hitting on you? Like, what the heck? He was like, tell me what happened. And she's like, I really just don't want to talk about it right now. I want to go ahead and take a shower and I want to go with my girls. He's like, listen, we are going to talk about this. Like, I want to know what happened. She was like, well, you can't force me to talk about it. I'm like, girl, when you got the man in your house because you scared as a June bug, you scared that the little man going to come back and try to finish off the job because you done ran him over and beat his ass. Girl, tell the man what happened so he can go to watch his back. At least if this man comes up here, he up here leaving the door unlocked and things. So he need to know what's going on just in case this man come back looking for you and he find him. And he don't know what this man is capable of. So yes, I'm sure Danny is still traumatized and she really not ready to talk about it just yet. But I do think that she, you have Preston in your apartment. You should at least talk to him about it or whatever. So she was like, it's my story to tell and you can't rush me to tell you. And he's like, okay, I'm not going to push you to tell me right now. Oh, but when you get back, we are going to talk about this. I don't agree with that. Wait until you're ready to tell me stuff. I need you to tell me what's going on, like ASAP. And she's like, whatever. Okay. Miss Main Event says Danny is so immature. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh my God. I've never seen a woman act like this. A woman that's so unsure of herself, but yet they want to try to make her seem like the voice of reason friend. In what light is? What world is she the voice of reason, but she the most irresponsible one out of all of them, always trying to hoodwink somebody for some drinks and food and to pay her bills and all this, that, and the third. Grow up, Danny. Grow up. And you are not a sage advice giver, okay? Danny don't know what she wants in a man. She don't. Like, this man is actually super into her, asking her to show him what he needs to do to, properly be with her and to intrigue her and make her want him and all this, that, and the third. Like, he want to love her right the way she want to be loved, but she's still on some bullshit. She over here playing games. Sheila Jackson says his storylines makes no sense. Sabrina was dating a prince and they didn't have money to help Sabrina. Right. Why didn't nobody, you bring up a good point. Why didn't anybody call Bio? Because he's supposed to be this multi-billionaire, right? That little bit of nothing would have been nothing. That money would have been nothing for him to get her out. Wow. Listen, you bringing up some good points, okay? And he is cornbread fed fine. Preston, child. Yes, indeed. Hallelujah. Woo. God did some extra special time on that man there. Yes, he did. Yeah, amen. He's an amazingly beautiful man. Okay. Amazingly. All right. So he's basically trying to question Danny. Danny ain't budging. But he said, when you get back up in here, you're going to tell me the story. Okay. So moving on, Sabrina is at home. Calvin comes over there and he's knocking on the door. So she answers the door and he sits down and tells her that Maurice actually finally reached out to him. So he reveals to Sabrina that Maurice was thinking that she gave him up, but he explained to Maurice that she did not do that and that Andy got her out of jail and it was a bond. So Sabrina was like, oh my God, do you think he would really think that I did something like that? And Calvin was like, no, he trusts you. He knows that you didn't do it. But the way that Calvin was saying it, Sabrina was thinking he was very unsure. Like he looked really unsure of himself. And so she was like, I gotta figure out how to get him out of there. I'm going to definitely talk to Andy this evening about how we can try to get Maurice out of jail. So as they're talking, there's a knock at the door. Sabrina says, come in. I'm like, well, who is you expecting? And why is the door unlocked? What is it with the unlocked doors on this episode? Like, y'all do not live in Mayberry. What is going on? So comes Bio. Bio was like, I've been coming by for the last 3 weeks and you haven't been here. Where have you been? In the Munda? No. But he is like, where have you been? I've been looking for you. Like, what is the goings on? She was like, oh, I'm sorry, I just really needed some time or whatever. And Calvin was like, hello, I'm here too. He was like, oh, I didn't see you until now. You ain't thinking about him, Bio. But again, I'm on what Sheila said. Why ain't nobody called Bio to get Sabrina out of jail? He's so in love and she's so beautiful to him. He could have got her out of jail. He sure enough could have did that. So, and the whole time I was like, where is this man? Like, he ain't been here all season. But anyway, she's like, I'll call you. Go ahead and get on about it here now. You're here. So Calvin was like, well, no, I can leave if you want me to. Like, you can call him back. I just came over here to tell you what was going on with Maurice. So Sabrina was like, no, I do want to chat with you. I want to talk to you. Like, let me just go get cleaned up. I have a lot of hair on me from, getting her hair done. She's like, let me take a shower and we can sit down and talk. And so Calvin was like, okay, cool, I'll stay. So Fatima sits down. Fatima is sitting on the couch, sleep, and the decoy calls her. I'm like, well, damn, did you get the itis after eating dinner? And how long has this been? It's only, I thought it was supposed to only be an hour for all of this, but, whatever. So she talks to the decoy, and the decoy basically is giving her some good reports. She was like, I'm going to have him eating out of the palm of my hand. You let me know what you got, what you want me to tell you, sis, because I got him. I'm going to go to dinner with him, and we probably going to end up in a hotel afterwards. I'm going to make sure this niggarachi is wrapped around my finger, okay? And Fatima says, yes, just keep your foot on his neck, honey, because the more he all up into you, the less he going to be thinking about me and what I'm doing over here. So they get off the phone. Andy meets Karen outside. They both pull up. Mind you, y'all blocking in somebody else's driveway. How these people gonna leave? And poor Deja, she gonna have to go to work at the club, and y'all blocking her damn car in. I can see her popping out in the next damn episode. Like, hello, hello? Can you move your Lexus truck? Okay, I just got to go strip. That's all. I just have to go to my job. Mind your business. That's all. Just mind your business. Get your car and get it out in front of my driveway. Cause I'm like, Karen, you blocking her side in, and then Andy over here with her daggone Bentley blocking in Fatima and Zach. So they're outside talking, and Karen is like, are you sure you didn't tell her that this is Zach's baby already? She's like, no, I did not tell her that. She's like, well, what are you guys doing here? Like, what's going on? And then Karen's like, I guess they just want to talk. Like, we're here to talk. You really didn't have to come. Andy was like, do you got your purse? Let me have your purse. You can leave it in the car, because apparently both Karen and Fatima run around here toting guns and our artillery, if you will. So Karen was like, why you look so nervous? Like, I think Karen was looking at Andy like she got something up her sleeve and she must have dimed her out or said something to Fatima, because she don't understand why she the one that's pregnant, but Andy the one over here flustered about what's going on. So they go inside, they go to the door. Zach and Fatima open the door, and Fatima's like, you ready for this? So he lets them in, they sit down, and Andy sits on the side with Zach and Fatima on the end, basically to kind of create a barrier between them and Karen. And so Fatima was like, okay, well, let's chat. And of course, Karen's face is all riled up because she's looking around the house like, ain't this a mother? I know they lying up in here. This supposed to be my damn house. Are you kidding me? I'm like, Karen, you have got to let it go. What bothers me with Karen is when Zach was on his bike and coming over your house and putting his checks on the mirror. Mind you, Zach was trash to you at points in y'all relationship, but you talked to him like he wasn't shit. So both of y'all were terrible and toxic to each other. You decided to kick him to the curb and dump him, as you should have if he was doing all those things that you didn't like. You told him, don't ever come over your house no more. You kicked him out. He ended up living with Danny. Then you found Aaron in the grocery store. Y'all kicking the bobo and hanging out. Then all of a sudden, Zach is successful. Now you want to be with him. You questioning your morals. You got rid of him a long time ago. An ex is an ex for a reason. Why are you still hanging on? It's like, I think Karen thrives off of the toxicity, and it's team too much. So they're all sitting down. Fatima says, all right, well, let's get it cracking. Let's talk. And that was where the episode ends. Sheila Jackson says he needs somewhere to stay. Oh, talking about Q. Michelle says, Sheila Jackson, hello. All right, y'all. So that is it for Sistas season. What is this? Season 5, episode 13, called Feeling the Heat. All right. I will see y'all in. First of all, let me do my little spiel. Y'all know it's late. I'm a little tired. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that's watching the show too. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.